Hi everyone, welcome to Type Talks. Today we have Jonathan with us, and we're here to give you an exclusive look into the course that we're launching on June 1st. It's going to be called Action, Typology and Fiction. We're going to be looking at clips together to look at typology in action and to point out functions and other type-related elements that show up. And so, without further ado, Jonathan will be explaining the clip we'll be watching.
So today for this video, we're going to be watching a couple of clips from the show American Chopper. We're going to look at the father and the son. We think their types are relatively clear, and we can see some clear function differences. We'll explain them as we go along.
Anyways, I just think that one of the reasons why I didn't want to go to Cincinnati, other than all the loose ends and everything that's kind of just left there for other people to worry about. Other than that, I think that we need time apart.
Well, you know what? I tell you the truth, that's probably a good idea. But you know what? Why don't you go to Cincinnati and leave me behind?
It doesn't matter. The point is, I just think that we need to get out of each other's hair for a while. We spend more time together than a married couple.
Well, you know what? I agree with you. But you know what? I'm the guy that's 54 years old, and you're the guy that's 28 years old. I'm the guy that's been in business for 30 years, okay? You're the guy that's been doing this for 3 years. So I should be prioritized, not you, not what you feel, or you're sick of me, or you don't like, no, let me finish. Let me finish, okay? So 3 days before we're ready to go to Cincinnati, you say, well, I'm not going to Cincinnati.
No.
So first, what we're seeing here is not necessarily type related, but we see some generational conflict. Father's saying, he's talking about how old he is, how long he's been in this business, how he feels like he has to be slowing down a bit, and he feels like his son's not really respecting him quite a lot. So you have to consider non-type related factors first. But their types will be a bit more clear as the clip goes on.
No, I said, I don't want to go. And you said, if you don't go, I'm not going. I'll cancel the show. I don't care about the money and everything else.
So you got to make an extended effort to make things happen, and it's happening. But I got to be up your ass to make that happen.
No, well, that's what I want to talk about. Because nothing you do motivates me. Okay. I just want to let you know that. None of your comments or even your suggestions get anything done any quicker. You think by barking orders and making negative comments about every situation all along the way of fabrication, that's supposed to be some kind of, that's how you get your size 12 working in your favor. I'm just going to let you know it's not working for me. It just doesn't work. And I understand you got to freak out once in a while, but the never-ending freaking out is just getting so old, it's not even funny.
You know what? Maybe you're right. I do bark too much. You know what? I don't bite enough is the problem. Because when I expect certain things out of certain people, whether it's you or anybody else, that's what I expect. Why do I have to constantly repeat myself over stupid, childish, petty bullshit that people continue to do? And you're the ringleader because you're supposed to be part of the business with me, okay? So you're supposed to set some kind of presence. What kind of presence do you set when you're the worst guy? You come in late, you come in when you want to, you leave when you want to, and you make the biggest mess in the shop.
Whoa,
Listen nothing.
I'm working 60, 70 hours a week. This is not look at the blueprints and put it together like you've done your whole life. You don't understand the pressure of having to fabricate.
Wait. It doesn't make any difference.
I get 7 days to build a bike that's got to look like $150,000.
That doesn't set no presence in my mind. Because that's all you're going to do.
But I can't do more than that.
I don't agree with none of that you're saying. So somehow there's some kind of screen here that's blocking what my view is opposed to your view.
Oh, it's probably true. It's perspective.
It's absolutely. However you want to say it. You understand what I mean.
All right. So as their fight progresses, you can see some potential functions popping up. Now, the son is complaining about the dad in very specific ways. It's like, you always balk orders telling people what to do. And the dad has a very clear, stereotypical, extroverted thinking. So being able to order around resources to get things done, making things happen. He has a very structured and organized way of doing it. And his son even calls it a blueprint, or like you have a blueprint or a certain way you like doing things, and you expect people to follow the ABC, the template that you do it. And I don't work like that. And so you can see a lot of introverted sensing and extroverted thinking in the dad, in how the son describes him. And there's also with the son, he seems more go with the flow. It seems like he doesn't want to be told what to do. This is very common in types with extroverted sensing that want their freedom to improvise and adapt. They don't want to follow orders per se. They want to do things at their own pace when they feel like doing it. And so there's this fight, one person who wants to go with the flow, do what they feel like doing. There's more of an independence and an autonomy of the son, where the father sees that as not the best way of doing things. And so they're fighting.
I'm like stressed to the max. I've already spent half my life building one business that took half the life out of me. And here I am again, starting another business. I don't have it in me. You know, I can't do it all.
Believe me, I know.
So a lot of times when I realize that you do a lot, but a lot of times when you're the only guy that I really think that I can rely on. So a lot of times what happens when you don't come through, it's like a smack in the face. Because I honestly feel like I'm by myself.
You know what it is? We're from two different schools. I'm not you and you're not me. So I think that I understand we both have legitimate gripes, but we have to find how to handle it better without.
I already know how.
Out.
Go on like a month vacation.
Let's just do that.
And screw it all. All right, let's get out of here.
All right.
I love you.
Yeah, me too.
So I think at the end we see a lot of inferior feeling from introverted feeling from the father. He's talking about how he feels about the situation, how he feels like he's not being respected. He gets a little bit emotional about this. How he feels quite alone and isolated. And we see some extroverted feeling from the son as well, because the son's like trying to manage the mood and keep things a bit more in harmony. And he's recognizing that him and his father are just two different people. He said they're coming from two different schools. They've got different ways of doing things. And they are able, at least at this point, to manage their differences and make up. As the whole show progresses, it has a reputation for having a lot of arguments. And we'll see in the next clip probably the most famous argument from the entire show.
Always late again this morning. Pretty much, I've had enough. Do me a favor. Come in now, right? Come in my office. You know, it's been one thing after another with him, and I'm just not gonna let him get over anymore.
What's going on?
You know, I'm so fed up with this babysitting you. It's a 7:45.
7:45.
Yeah, everybody's in here at 7 o'clock, and you come walking in at 7:45. When the is it going to stop? Who the are you? I don't get it. It's like,
listen,
wait a second. Wait a minute. You come in at 7:45, break time, you leave, you don't come back, and for an hour later, then you leave here at 3:30 in the afternoon. I don't understand. What are you, boss's son?
Oh, wait a minute.
The other day, last week, I gave you a list that's in your contract that you need to abide by. What the?
Well, I don't know what you want from me.
It's in your contract because you want to get paid whatever you want to make, and then you don't abide by your contract. So shut the phone. Let me read this, all right? Here's what it says. Number one, it says need to be here at 7 o'clock. Next day, 7:40 you come in. The next day, need to be here at 12:45 for lunch. Like everybody else, you come back 1:30. 1:30. Need to be out of shop working on a bike. Imagine that. I go in there and you're laying on the couch in Jason's office, okay?
Listen, I don't really give a
No, I
Because at the end of the day, you know what matters? Everything gets done around here. Every bike that needs to get built gets done. Everybody's working at all times. And you know what? 10 years, this is the kind of stuff we've been dealing with for 10 years. Yeah. We're part this thing. We're involved here. Let me tell you something. If I wasn't involved, this it would burn to the You know what? Get the out of here. And don't bother coming in tomorrow and get your terminated. Good, it's about time.
So as you can see there, the father gets really upset at the son for relaxing when he's supposed to be working. You could see this as potentially a cognitive function conflict where the dad, who seems to be an ESTJ from the show, leads with extroverted thinking and is looking at the son relaxing and seeing it as him doing nothing. Because when you have an extroverted judging function as a first function, you want to be busy all the time and always making progress towards your goal. And so resting and doing nothing looks like laziness. When it comes to the STP son, he's either an ESTP or potentially an ISTP. But as an STP, I kind of see STPs as cats that are resting for a while until there's a need to jump into action. And so with extroverted sensing, you're gauging the moment to see if something in the moment needs to be acted upon. And if there doesn't have to be, extroverted sensing users can actually have these moments of just chilling and doing nothing. That to an extroverted thinking dominant can look like you're wasting time when you could be productive at all moments. And so, Jonathan, do you have anything you'd like to say?
Yeah, I'll just add to that the son feels that it doesn't matter if he's not following his father's exact schedule. It doesn't matter if he's not always there on time. What matters is he gets the job done, and he feels like he's been carrying this job. He's been putting up with these kind of arguments for 10 years, he says. So he feels like he's the one who's tried to play the peacemaker. He's the one who's tried to keep the harmony, but his father keeps bringing these, what he sees as insignificant issues up, because as far as he's concerned, the job does get done regardless of that. After this clip, the father ends up suing the son, and they go to court and they fight over the shares, and the son ends up starting his own business, his own branch of the company, and they barely speak to each other for years later. The next clip is going to be the same fight, but it's going to be from a different angle from one of the other sons. Let's try and guess what this other son's type is.
I want it done today.
My father's always been a tough guy to work for. It's a custom bike. Sometimes it takes time.
You don't want that.
What do you want me to tell you?
You know, my father had really high expectations for my brother, for certain. Sometimes too high.
Well, my plan was for him to take over the business.
Why do you need me here?
I don't. See ya. Take a night.
Yeah, we fought a lot.
Put something in order, and then let's move forward.
So then get your hands dirty, and we won't have no problems. We'll get it done in no time.
But I think that when the show started and with the pressure from the business, it magnified it. And it just got progressively worse. I pay your salary, you don't pay mine.
When I'm owner in this company, I have a say. Absolutely.
You have no say.
Come on, can't we all just get along?
It finally all came to a head.
One day, my brother walked into my father's office, and my father was like, "Hey, son, you were late today. It's a 7:45, and let the fireworks begin. When the is it going to stop? Who the are you? I don't get it." And then Junior, "I don't know what you want from me, because at the end of the day, you know what matters. Everything gets done around here. Every bike that needs to be built gets done. Bleep, bleep, bleep. Yelling, yelling. 10 years. This is the kind of stuff we've been dealing with for 10 years. We're partners in this thing. Partners my ass." Yelling, yelling, bleep, bleep, bleeps, bleeps, more bleeps. This place would go to it would burn to the ground. My brother threw a chair. Oh boy, he was angry. Then my father was like, "And don't bother coming in tomorrow. You're terminated." Good, it's about time. Exclamation point. Then my brother threw a trash can, and I had to clean it up, of course. Then he stormed off, and that was that.
I think the other son is possibly an ENTP, just the way he's dealing with this whole conflict. It's like he finds it very emotional and ridiculous and over the top, and he kind of makes fun of it just by reading from the script and kind of putting his own humorous spin on everything that just happened. So yeah, that's just my thoughts there.
Yeah. And so, if you enjoyed today's commentary, you can expect to see more in our course coming up, Action, Typology, and Fiction. And so, thank you everyone for watching. We'll see you all in the next video. Bye.